Okay. What do you mean by methods? Okay. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by methods? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by methods?
Set of statements that allow user to that perform specific task.
Okay. Anybody else?
Set is a subprogram that acts on the data and returns some values.
Okay. Fine. So in simple terms, a method is a nothing but a group of statements. That's it. A method is nothing but it is a group of statements which performs specific task. That's it. What do you mean by method? Methods are the a group of statements which performs specific task. So what do you mean by specific task? For example, assume that I am creating a method to perform addition of two numbers. That addition of two numbers is nothing but task. To complete this task, whatever course or whatever statements is there, no, we are writing inside one single block. That block is called as the method. That's it. Are you clear with this? What do you mean by method?
Yes,
Method
sir.
is nothing but a group of statement which performs specific task. Okay, so example for the method will be something like add or subtract or multiplication, so on. These all are the user defined methods. And what all are the example for the inbuilt method means print is there, print ln is there, yes or no, omega next int is there, next float, next double, next. So those all are the example for the built-in methods. Okay, so now we will see how to create the user defined data type, user defined methods. So we understood what you mean by methods, right? That is a group of the statements which performs a specific task. So what is the syntax for the creating the method? What is the syntax? The syntax for creating the method ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ, so this one is a return type, this is function name, and this is parameter list, and this is open and this is close. Here will be the group of the statements. Getting the point? Okay, so generally we are calling this return type as output, and this is a parameter list, we are calling it as a input. This is output and this is input. Okay, this is the function name. Yes, so in this parameter list is optional. This is optional. If I want to mention the parameters, then I can write the parameter list, otherwise I can leave it blank. That is the optional. But ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೈತಿ, that is compulsory. Return type should be there, function name should be there, but parameter list is optional. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ statements ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. How many statements I can mention here? One or more, no condition. one or more, no condition. Okay, this is the syntax. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we will see in how many ways we can write this we can create the method. In 4 ways I can create the method. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so this is the return type, this is the parameter list. So I can create a method which has no return type, no parameter, or I can create the method which has no return type but with parameter. I can create the method which has return type but no parameter. So another one is I can create a method which has return type and parameter list. Okay, in these 4 ways I can create the method. So now we will see one by one. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so now we will see what do you mean by no return type, no parameter. No return type, no parameter, which is the first method. Okay, no return type, no parameter. So to create the method, what is the syntax? Return type, function name, function name and parameter. This is the normal syntax, yes or no? So by using this syntax, we will write the method which has no return type, no parameter. That is, so no return type means what should I mention? As I told you, while writing the syntax, return type is nothing but output, parameter is nothing but input. No return type, no parameter ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, no means in programming language we are mentioning as void. Getting the point? Void. No return type means I should mention void here. Okay, so normally ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, 0 ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯೂಸರ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನಲ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ವೈಲ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ void. Void means ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದಾಗ. Function name can be anything. I will be giving as test, and this is compulsory. Pair of parentheses is compulsory. I can leave it blank, or I can also mention as void. ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕು ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ void ಅಂತಲೂ ಬರಿಬೋದು. Okay, so opening and closing is compulsory. So one statement I will write, that is SOP hi. Getting the point? So this is the example for no return type, no parameter. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. With one example, with one program I will give you example for this. This is class demo. Yes, so now tell me where to mention the this method. I will write here, that is void. So add ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, add
Okay.
Okay. So add. So this is the program to illustrate the example. No return type, no parameter. No parameter. No return type means I should mention void. No parameter means I can leave it blank or I can mention void also, but I am leaving blank. Open. So I want to perform the addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers means how many variables required? 1 and 2, and if I want to store the result, this is the third variable. Okay, so SOP enter A and B value. So can I take directly static values? Okay, no problem. Scanner S is equals to new scanner system.in system.in. Next, a value means a is equals to what is the scanner class object? S is there. S dot next. A is of type integer, that's why int. Similarly, B S dot next int. Okay, so I will be performing the addition operation, that is our value is stored in variable A and variable B. So A plus B I am assigning to the variable C. Okay, so no return type. No return type means I am displaying result here itself. So I will be displaying the result, that is result or sum is equals to our sum is stored in which variable? C variable. So I will be writing like this C. ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಇದು ವಯೋಡ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ಯದ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ if I execute this program, whether this program will get executed or not?
No, sir.
Why?
Because no main method is there.
Yes, no main method is there. If I want to, but what happens if I compile this program, whether compilation will be successful or not?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
No. What about
sir, it will be compiled, sir, but no.
Exactly. If I compile this program, no, the compilation will be done successfully, no error will come. But to run the program, main method is compulsory. Getting the point? ನಾ ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೀ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಎರರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಇಫ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಸಿ ವಯೋಡ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗೈತಿ. ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಮೇನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಮೇನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. So public static void main string args. Okay, so this main method will be called by the JVM. Okay, but if you want to call this user defined method, no, I should call it in main method. So how to call the function? To call the function, very simple. What is our method name? That is add. Whether any parameter it is expecting? No. So leave it blank and semicolon. But I told you many times, this is a static area. Why? Public static. So this is static area. But add method is the instance member. If the area changes, whether direct access is possible?
No, sir.
No. So how to access that member?
By creating an object.
नहीं लो, मैं उधर बैठता हूँ. नको लो, मैं नीचे बैठता हूँ. नहीं चलता. Okay, so area changes. Add is the instance method, but we are using inside the static area, means I should create the object. Now tell me for which class I should create the object. Add method is present in which variable? Sorry, in which class?
Demo class.
Demo class, yes. So add method is present in demo class, means I should create the object for which class?
Demo class.
Demo. D is equals to new demo. So how to call this member? By using the object, that is d dot add. That's it. ಇದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗೈತಿ, ಇದು ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೇನ್. End of add method, end of main, and this is the end of class. Are you clear with this? ನೋಡ್ಕೊರಿದ್ವಿ ನಮ್ಮ
Yes. Sir, scroll down.
ಓಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಂತ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ನೋ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟೈಪ್, okay. So this is main method. Every user defined function should be called by the user itself. Only the main method will be called by the Java compiler. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Ishwar, Vijay, Bhagya, Sahana.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Another example, simple example. See, no return type, no parameter. No return type is nothing but output, no parameter is nothing but input. You need to remember this. Return type is nothing but output, parameter is nothing but input. You should remember this. If you remember these 2 points now, you can write any program very easy, any method very easily without confusions. Okay, ಇದು ಎರಡು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ. ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್, ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್. ಇವು ಎರಡು ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಯಾವ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗೆ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೂ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಥಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುಮಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ವಿತ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ no return type but with parameter. Again same thing. Okay, a no return type with parameter means the syntax for the creating the method is return type, function name and parameter list. Okay, so example for this is function name would be, I will be taking as test. No return type is there. No return type means what should I mention here? Void. With parameter is there. With parameter means I should mention here how many parameter I want to mention here. Okay, for example, two parameter, and this is the open, this is the close, and here I will be mentioning the statements. So when we come to the with parameter, no, we should remember every parameter should be separated by the comma. This is one point. Every parameter should be separated by comma. And the second point we need to remember is every parameter should be combination of data type and variable name. These 2 points are very important while we are using the method with parameter. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ no return type ಐತಿ. No return type means void I am mentioning, no problem. With parameter is there. How many parameters? That may be the n number of parameters, but I am using how many parameters? Only 2 parameters. And every parameter should be separated by the comma. Every parameter should be separated by comma, and every parameter should be combination of data type and variable name. These 2 points are very important. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Example. Example, this is class. Again I will be taking it as a demo itself, class demo. And which function I am using? I will be using again add itself. But so this is the example, no return type but with parameter. With parameter, no return type means what should I mention here? Void. Void add with parameter. With parameter means I want to perform the addition of how many numbers? 2 numbers. 2 numbers means how many parameter I should take here? 2 parameter. So this is one parameter and this is another parameter, int a, int b. Yes. Now see, these parameters are there, no? These parameters are nothing but input. Do you remember this point? Return type is nothing but output. Parameter is nothing but input. Means what does it mean? It means already I have input that is been stored in these variables. Getting the point? With parameter means already these parameter has some value. Okay, no need of creating another 2 numbers to store the value, because value is already present here. So only how many variables are required? Only one variable. Edaka? To store the result. To store result. Yes. So directly I will be writing as c is equals to, already our data is present in which variable? Variable a plus variable b. Okay, I am not returning. I am not returning means what I will do? I will print here itself. The sum is equals to, our sum is stored in which variable? C variable plus c. And this is open and this is close. Okay, so now what I will be declaring the main method, public static void main string args. Okay, now, so do you know what do you mean by called method and what do you mean by calling method? What do you mean by called method and what do you mean by calling method? Anybody?
Sir, called method
Hmm.
is a main method, and from that
From that, you are not audible, Vagya. Anybody else? Vijay, Swati, Sahana.
no, sir.
You don't know? Okay. What about Sahana and Vijay?
Forgot.
Forgot. Vijay,
No, sir.
you don't know.
Sir,
Yes. Yes, Bhagya. You are not audible. Okay, maybe due to network issue. Okay. So, public static void main. This main method is calling to which method? Add method, right? So I should call here. Yes or no? I should call here. So I am calling add method from which method? Being inside this main method, I am calling to the add method. Means this main method is calling method. Who is calling this method? Main is calling this method. Means main method is called as calling method. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀವಿ? add ಮೆಥಡಿಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀವಿ. So this add method is called method. It is being called by main method. That's why called method. Calling method means who is calling? Main method is calling to this function, means main is the calling method and add is the called method. At least ಈಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now tell me, add is a instance variable or static variable? Means instance member or static member? Instance member, because no static variable is there, no static keyword mentioned here, right? So this is the static area, this is the instance member, means it is necessary to create the object. Yes or no? 100%. Mean how to create the object? So this add method is present in which class? Demo class. Means I should create the object for which class? Demo class. Demo d is equals to new demo, right? So now I will be calling to this method. So how to call? D dot add. D dot add. But tell me, add method is expecting how many inputs? How many inputs? 2 inputs. Means 1 and 2. How many inputs? 2 inputs, right? 2 inputs means it is expecting 2 values here. two values. Which type of values? Integer values. So I can write like this, 10 and 20. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
In previous example, that was about no return type, no parameters. No parameters. That's why we had not mentioned any values there. But in this example, we are using with parameter. With parameter means how many values this method is expecting? Two values. Two values means I should write two value of type integer. That is compulsory. If this is float, I should mention float value. If it is double, I should mention double value. If it is character, I should mention character value. Right? But this has an integer value. That's why I am mentioning two integer values. Okay. So this closes your main and this closes your class. This closes your main and this closes your class. What happens? As we know, every program starts execution from which method? Main method, right? So main method will ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. The first statement we are creating the object is created. The very next statement is d dot add 10 comma 20. So these 10 will be copied into which variable? Variable A. These 20 will be copied into which variable? B variable. So now tell me what is the value of A? A value is 10 and B contains which value? B contains which value? 20. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So A ಒಳಗ 10 ಅದ, B ಒಳಗ 20 ಅದ. So A contains 10, B contains 20. 10 plus 20 is 30. That 30 is stored in variable C. So SOP sum is equals to C means output will be 30. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So always remember every program start execution from the main method. So these 10 will be copied into A and these 20 will be copied into B. That's why we are calling parameter is nothing but input. Why? Because we are taking the values from calling method. Who is calling to this program, this method? No, it is sending the values, that is nothing but inputs. That's why it is not required to take the values explicitly here in this method. Are you clear with this example?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I have taken static values here. So how you will convert this into dynamic values? Okay. Static value ತಗೊಂಡೆ dynamic ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ very simple. ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ SOP enter two values. Enter two values. Dynamic ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Scanner S is equals to new scanner system.in. So to store the values, how many variables are required? Two variables. Int A is equals to S dot next int. One more variable is required. Int B is equals to S dot next int. So there is some value in variable A and variable B, right? So however I have created the object, now I will call this function. What is the function name? Add. So d dot add. It is expecting how many values? Two values of type integer. Our values are stored in which variable? A and B. So directly I will be mentioning as A comma B. So this closes your main and this closes your class. Main and class. So this is the example with dynamic values. Dynamic values. Are you clear with this? If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Sir,
Yes.
the variables the same
Okay. 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 See, here I mentioned int A and int B. Okay. Bhagya is asking whether should I declare with same name. No, it is not necessary. You can mention any variable name here. I can take it as a P and Q. If I had taken P and Q, then I should write here P and Q. Getting the point? But not necessary to have the same name that is inside the parameter and the variable that we are passing from here. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any other doubts? Okay. So how this will get executed? See, however, we know every program start execution from which method? Main method. Once we come to the main method, the first statement is we are creating the object. We have created the object. The very next statement is SOP enter two values. So in console or in command line, we will be getting a message as enter two values, and here however we are taking the dynamic values. To create the to take the dynamic values, we should create the object for which class? Scanner class. Okay, by using the scanner class, the first method enter two values means if I enter 10, 10 will be stored in variable this. It may be the P or it may be the A. Okay, so the next number whatever I enter, no, that will be stored in this variable. Okay, so assume that this variable is containing 50 and this variable contains 100. So now what I am doing here, this add is the user defined method. User defined method means who should call? User should call. That's what I am doing here. I am calling this method d.add. But add method is expecting how many values? Two values. Our values are stored in which variable? Just take an example, A and B. So that I am mentioning here, A comma B. Okay, so A ಒಳಗೆ another 50 ಇದೆ, that 50 is copied here. So B ಒಳಗಡೆ another 100 ಇದೆ, that 100 is copied here. Right, so from here control will come to this directly. Okay, so next this will get execute. A plus B, A is nothing but 50, B is nothing but 100. 100 plus 50 is 150. 150 is stored in variable C. So what we are doing here, we are printing the sum. The sum is 150. After execution of this method, now again control will go back here. Okay, control will go back here. There is no statement. Okay, this is the close of the main. Close of the main is nothing but termination of the program. Yes or no? So after that, close of class. That's it. You should be able to trace the program like this. Then only without behiting the program you can write program very easily. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir. No doubts.
No doubts.
No doubts.
No doubts.
Sir.
Vijay and Sahana.
No.
No. Okay. Fine then. Practice these two types of method. That is no return type with parameter and no return type no parameter. Practice these two types of methods. Tomorrow we will continue with return type no parameter, with return type with parameter. Is that clear?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow again we will continue at the same timing, that is 5:45. Okay. If you don't have any
Okay.
doubts, means I will end this meeting now.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Thank.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank
No
you
doubt.
then. See you tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir.